The top of the hour. Time to stop with the disco machine. Am I muted or not? Oh no, I'm not. I think we're recording. So what I want to do is open this up in a few minutes. However, there's a couple of you on here that weren't actually. There's some of you on here that weren't on last night's, and I want to kind of get in the habit of making that a regular sort of thing straight after the COC. If there's pertinent stuff, the only thing is it can't be at the same time every week because we never know how long the COC call is going to go. Sometimes they're 20 minutes, sometimes they're 90. You know, if BU gets on one for I'm going to make this brief, you know, it's 90 minutes. If he's not there, it's a 20-minute call. So LCD is available for everyone in the company. First time ever we've done it. And even if you've done LCD before, it's like something Mitch said yesterday, we never graduate, we learn where we're at. You could do the course today and do the same course in 3 months' time and learn something completely different because we're in a different space. So I'm going to just skim over that. The key thing, the difference is obviously it's a Zoom one. However, the original LCD that I went to, the very first one, it was, I think it was ranked 7 and above, or maybe 6 and above, and there was 200 of us. Can you guys hear me okay? Just someone give me a thumbs up. Yeah, there was 200 of us, roughly, maybe less, about 180 of us in Louisville. And we had different people at different stages of the game. Now, because we're opening this up to everyone, someone that's just started last week doesn't want to be in the same room as someone that's been here 5 years and is a legend, because they're learning at different levels. So like the level up, we're going to break this, the second day of LCD, into breakout rooms. So the one room will be rank 1 to 5 or maybe 6, then there's another room, then there's another room. Similar thing we did to Rhinos, Wolves, Unicorns. So there's that, and the whole point of it is just fill up your belief system. If you look, you know, there's a term I heard yesterday called event stacking, and I talk a lot about habit stacking, but event stacking, you know, we were in, oh, okay, there's 3 of you here that were in the mastermind we had here, and that was all about raising, you know, raising ourselves. And then from there we went to level up, which was about tactical. And then we went to Keto Academy, which is unwavering belief in the product. So tactical is company, Keto Academy is product. We speak about the 3 levels of belief. Well, we've just done industry, which was level up, Keto Academy, which was company, product. Oh, what's the other one? It's the one that's the hardest one to work on. It's the self-belief. So that's what LCD is about. Tickets are available now. The price is going up. They're discounted now. The price is going up on Thursday. They're available to everyone because we've made it so there's a place to fit in. So day 1 is a pre-frame. Day 2 is breakout sessions. Day 3, everyone gets back together and you learn the techniques, the certain techniques. There's one called the turn that leaps to mind. I'm not going to go into that now. So I just want to skim over that for those who weren't on last night's call, and that's okay. What I do want to talk about today, and don't ask you guys on Sunday to give the subjects you wanted covered. And I've seen 2 people so far, and I already know the number one. Well, let's cover what it is. One of the things that popped up yesterday was objection handling. And I'm a big believer, probably the wrong time of life to be mentioning, I'm a big believer in inoculation rather than cure. Okay, that means something different in this space. Like, however, objection handling, the number one objection people come up with is always the same. But what I want to do for this, I'm just going to go around you in order, and I want you to give me like your top 3 objections. I'm going to write them down and we'll cover them now. We'll address it where it's up. So Mark is on the top of my screen. Can you unmute yourself, Mark? Top 3 objections, real quick.
I only really have two that come to mind: objections and GI issues.
GI issues, and what was the other one?
Objections.
Yeah, what are the objections?
Oh, price.
Right, okay. All right, cool. Who is next? Paul, unmute yourself. Top three maximum.
Well, obviously the first one's price. And then people aren't ready to make the commitment. And really that's it. I mean, it's price and commitment.
Okay. Cool. Who can I see there next? Looks like, is that Jeremy? Jeremy, what do you got?
A mouthful of peanut butter and jelly crust.
That's not an objection.
I obviously everybody's is price. But another one that I hear, oddly enough, is about the boxes only being 20 doses, not being a monthly, you know what I mean? Buy a box and it lasts you a month kind of thing.
All right, cool.
I understand why, but you know.
All right, cool. That's great. Dawn, what do you got? Either. Three objections. Okay. Maximum.
I was having trouble unmuting myself.
Oh, okay.
I had to walk away for a second. So I would probably say price. And yes, interestingly enough, I've heard the same thing Jeremy has, is the, you know, why is there only 20 if I'm on smart ship every 30 days? That means I've got to buy 2 boxes.
Right.
And I would also probably say sometimes I get just the smart ship one in general, you know, like, oh, I don't want to do anything auto ship. And I know how to explain that. However.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm trying to blast through this time wise so we get more time to deal with it. Mary, I can see you.
Price is definitely the primary one I get. I also get the not wanting to commit to the smart ship thing. They're afraid it's not gonna shut off or that they don't have the control they want over it. Another one I get is people who have medical conditions and their doctors won't, either they don't talk to their doctors about it and they say they do, or their doctors don't know enough about it to say, yeah, it's okay, you can give it a try.
All right, cool. Matt, what do you got? Matt, can you unmute yourself? Or if you not speak at the moment? If you can't speak and you want to type it in the chat, that's also fine. I'll go to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, can you speak?
Yeah, but I don't have my camera on at the moment because I'm getting dressed. You don't want to see that.
Top 2 or 3.
Biggest one is cost.
Okay.
And the second one is quantity. How come there's only 20 in a box? Why not 30?
All right, got it. All right. Fran, what do you got?
Mine's the same cost and the 20 in the box and the commitment. I mean, those are just like
Okay,
great.
cool. Got it.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Let's mute you guys out. Where are we? Participants. I think you're all muted out anyway. Yeah, everyone's muted. So, a couple of things. There's 3 times to handle objections. Before, or after they come up, or never. So very often, if you look at the psychology behind this, and it ties in, and I want to get those. I already knew what the number one thing you're going to say was, because it's all. It doesn't matter what it is, always that. It's sort of, there's a real reason people don't do something, and there's one that sounds good to them, justification, and it's meant to sound good to us. So we want the real reason, but we rarely get it. And it could be anything. And I'll address each and every one of these. The best way to deal with an objection is not to have to. So the best way is to stop it coming up in the first place. And we'll address these one at a time. And if, by the way, if you've got any feedback on it, like type it in, chime in. Like, I know if you're driving, don't type, just like unmute yourself. We're going to get a reason that sounds good. So if we go through these GI issues, I'm doing them in reverse order. GI issues. If someone's had GI issues, it's after they've used them, usually. We know how to deal with that, but I don't think it's going to come up as an objection up front until someone's tried it. Now, from a perspective, we know how to deal with that. Salt, who was it? Christine Figueres always sent out, even before we did the Midoplex, she always sent out some electrolytes, because we know with some people it's going to happen. However, there's something I heard Ken say a while ago, and like, it sent me to the bathroom. Good, it's working. You know, if you're in the bathroom, and for those of you that, I don't know if you use the black, well, I do that first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Paul's got a grin on his face. He knows what I'm talking about. The Black Label Charmin. It's supposed to do that because of the fulvic minerals in there. That's what they're supposed to do, is a gut reset. So that kind of thing, if you explain it right, you know, if you explain it right, if you tell people hey, it's going to send you to the bathroom, or if it does, that's a good thing. It's your gut resetting. That's fine. I'm guessing that's coming up after the fact. What do we got? Medical conditions. It's something you got to tread careful with. In the very early days, that used to come up in, you know, now and again. Like, I'm going to ask my doctor about it. I said, well, I'll tell you right now, your doctor's going to tell you not to do it because your doctor doesn't know what it is. And, you know, sadly, I had a cousin lived in the desert here. One of these guys that was just like an alpha male, drinking monsters and energy shots and all this. And he got some kind of brain cancer, and he had an oncologist and this, that, and the other. And this is, you know, going back 5 years, 6 years. And he was trying all kinds of things. There's a device from Israel you put in your head. It's like a magnetic pulse therapy thing. They've sort of developed it more since then. So I sent him some. He said, I'm gonna ask my oncologist. I said, I'm gonna tell you right now, your oncologist is gonna tell you don't do it. And this was 6 years ago. I sent him the, if you've never seen this, the Dr. Dom TED Talk, which talks specifically about that, but there was no actual science. Sadly, his oncologist told him not to do it, and would it have made a difference or not, I don't know, but he did pass away like 6 months later. The medical thing is just something we've got to be so careful of. However, what I would say, Mary, as soon as you brought this one up, is whenever someone's got anything they talk about medically, I go onto Google, exogenous ketones, and I'll find a medical report, and make sure it's exogenous ketones. I'll find a medical report, and that's like utilizing a third party, so it's not coming out of my mouth. And just make sure it's a medical report and not some, you know, article, because there's a huge difference. And I think you know how to spot medical reports. So the next one I'm going to mention here is a couple of you mentioned here, ready to commit. So again, I'll give you a conversation, just a random conversation. You may have had similar conversations. Someone hit you up, hey, I've been watching what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. I need to drop some weight. We'll just use that as an example. You could apply this to anything. Great. Now your pattern language is important here. There's a huge difference between asking someone how much do they want to drop or how much do they intend to drop. When you use that word intend, you are planting the seed that they're going to do it. If someone's 30 pounds overweight, 50 pounds overweight, they already know that. That's not happened. They've not just woke up like that. They've already been putting it off. So how much do you intend? 30 pounds. Okay, cool. We can do that. When do you intend to get started? Now you're gonna get different things. Here's how you judge it. You know, and oh, by the way, just to backtrack there, before that happens, before I ask that question, then you go into what do you know about ketones and ketosis, get the video out. If it makes sense to them, then I ask them, when do you intend to get started? You're going to get different answers to that. If I get something like, well, after my birthday, if it starts with after my, I say, great. Mary's smiling because she's heard it. Great. Well, let me know after your thing, or if you want to hit them up, great. I'll remind you when you've done your thing. I just killed a conversation stone dead. I'm not chasing someone that's procrastinating. You know, I got a guy in New York City who's been watching this journey. He's obese. His wife left him. He's having all kinds of things, and he ends up in hospital. And he's in his 40s, and you know, it's been starting next week. He said, "I'll call you." I said, "Don't call me. I've got nothing to talk to you about. Like, when you're ready, you're ready. It's fine." And the other week I saw he was on Messenger. I've not seen him for a while. I said, I'm just checking in with you. Oh, about the thing. I said, no, I'm making sure you're still alive. Because people in your shape are dropping dead every day. Yeah, blunt, but you know, he needs the blunt thing. So if they are not ready to commit, if you plant those seeds to get them to make a decision, when do you want to start? As soon as possible. Oh, today? Well, not today. Again, that goes to the after group. I'm ready to work. People are going to start today. You're always going to get procrastination. We all do it with all kinds of things in our life. So what we're doing here is inoculating. If it comes up, don't try and bandage it. You know, trying to bandage it would be, okay, you're going to start in 3 weeks. So why don't you buy a box today and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to wait. And all of a sudden you're chasing an objection, and it can get frustrating. And it also is habit forming. Know that you're going to speak to a bunch of people. Not everyone's ready when we're ready. So the next one, and oh, the smart chip one. Straightforward enough. In fact, I'm going to address the 20 serving thing. We're not technically supposed to use the word dose. 20 serving. It doesn't come up so much with me. So I'll give you my sort of method of operation here. And there's 3 things we want to talk about: price, 20 days, smart ship. Someone, Claire, do you want to just mute yourself out there? I can't mute you. We'll wrap those all into one. So you sent the video, or they've asked about the 10-day challenge. And to be honest, now I'm probably sending more of my challenge link out because the video's on there than the standard video. I'll just plan by ear. And send it out. They watch the video. Oh, that's cool. Great. So they're available at a massive, a huge, whatever word you use, huge discount right now. You can only get 3 boxes at that rate. And if you want 22% off all regular orders for life and a free box every 4th month, you just hit smart ship when you order. Does that sound fair to you? You're asking them a question to keep the conversation going. I've not even mentioned the price. The number one reason there's a price objection is people bring the price up before bringing the value up. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. And always break it down to minimums. We use, hey, we can hook you up with a mixed 5-day experience for $40, 10-day for $70, or you can get twice as much off my site for just $99. These are all things to prevent price coming up. You're giving them options. However, you only want to bring that up after they watch the video, after they've agreed to it, after, or you don't need to bring the 5-day into it. Hey, the ideal thing to do is try them, see how they speak to you. I can UPS you a mixed 10-day experience for $70, or you can get double that off my site for just $99, which sounds best to you. And I've let me just find something here. We'll do for this. I'm just improvising. So years ago, 1950s or 60s, Dairy Queen figured out their most profitable item was eggs that they put in milkshake. I never even heard of that, but they put an egg in a milkshake, whatever. And they knew if they sold more eggs, they'd be more profitable, but they didn't know how to sell more eggs. And they put this contest out for marketing companies. And this is very relevant to this conversation right now. It's not just me rambling with a story. And they put this competition out there to find a marketing company that will help them sell more eggs. And it was a 6 months rollout. And the guy shows up at like 3 days in. Guy shows up at Dairy Queen HQ, speaks to the chairman and said, I've already figured this out. And the chairman's not convinced. And it was like a huge contract or prize or whatever it was, like huge. So they go to a Dairy Queen, they order 2 shakes. And, they're doing the secret shopper thing that the employees don't know that's the chairman of Dairy Queen. And they said, do you want an egg in your milkshake? Like, no. And the guy says to the chairman, so there's your challenge. He said, like, hey, we're doing an experiment here. Can I come behind the counter? So when he pours the shake, he says to the chairman, do you want 1 egg or 2 in your shake? Do you want a 10-day for 70, or do you want double the amount off my site for 99? Is exactly the same thing. We're giving them options on minimal terms. Now from there, well, I'll take the 99. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You're going to get the occasional one that will take 70 off you for whatever reason. More often than not, it's someone that wants it today and they're local, in my case. From there, great. They're discounted massively for first-time customers. You can get a maximum of 3 at the discount on your first order. And if you want 22% off for life and a free box every 4th month. Again, that 4th month, 3rd month, I'm not complicating it. It's every 4th month. Doesn't matter. It's 3rd, we know. Just add SmartShip in your order. Does that make sense to you? Does that sound fair to you? Ask them a question to put them into action. You never, ever, ever, ever want to bring up price until they've seen all the rest of it. People going to Ferrari dealerships never ask price. Think about that. I got to do this. I know Dawn's going to be pissed at me. When I sold water filters, it was a $1,500 thing that looked like a big bean tin. You could never, even when they're asking how much is it? Hey, I'm interested in this program you're doing. How much is it? Well, what do you know about ketones and ketosis? Walk them through the process every single time. Because, hey, I've got this box here. Think of the other thing. If you put this on your social media, hey, who wants to buy this box? It's only $160. You don't think you're nuts. What is it? Doesn't do anything. So the best way to deal with objections is have them not come up. If you do it in that step-by-step order, whatever they ask you, hey, I'm interested in your program, how much is it? Cool, great. What do you know about ketones and ketosis? Only what I've seen off yours. Oh, right, cool. If I send you a quick 4-minute info video, would you watch it and let me know if it makes sense to you? Well, how much is it? It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense, does it? Would you watch it? Yeah, sure, send it. I'm not getting into it with them. It's a building block process and there's no shortcut. Hey, I want to start with these ketones. Can you send me a link? What do you know about ketones and ketosis? If you just send a random shop keto link out, it's not going to do anything. Sure, you're going to get the occasional one. It's a process, and the process is to prevent the objections coming up. Does that make sense to you guys? Most common thing is always price. If you inoculate, you don't have to cure. I literally never get objections breaking it down that way. What I'll do is I'll type it down. I've got to get off here now because it's Dawn's Zoom and she needs it to do some crazy workout shit that I am just not getting involved in. So, do me a favor, guys, on the core leadership right now, because I hope I've addressed all your things, and we'll do more of these, like the interactivity type stuff. Also, for those of you who haven't sent the stuff to Dawn for like what subjects would you like us to cover, could you send that to Dawn, and we're filtering through and we're covering them. And the aim this week is to get more interactivity. That's what I got. Thanks so much, Dawn. Thanks for setting this up. Like, don't start exercising if I'm on this line. I'm just saying, I don't want to see that shit. I have a kettlebell in my garden. I don't do anything with it. It's just, if anyone comes by, like, oh, Tony's got a kettlebell. Yeah, it's like growing plants out of it at the moment. That's what I got, guys. I'm out of here. Dawn, do you want to wrap it? Was this recorded? Yeah. Have you figured out how to get it onto the thing?
Yeah, I got it. We're good.
Got it. All right, I'm out of here. Adios.